You guys want to come up? You're welcome to come up. You don't have to. It's okay. Hello, hello. I have something pictured here. Do you guys know what this is? What is this? You want to see it? There, see? Oh, here, I got another one. Ooh, there, ooh,
That's a really bad thunderstorm.
ooh. Look at that.
That's
When you think of lightning, what words do you think of? Do you think of happy? No? What words do you think? What? Sad, scary?
scary.
Scary, scared. Yeah, lightning, it can be pretty scary, can't it? It can kill you? Yeah, it sounds dangerous, doesn't it? What if I told you,
What if we touch lightning?
if you touched lightning, yeah, that'd probably spark pretty bad, wouldn't it? What if I told you that as long as you guys are inside, it's almost impossible for lightning to hurt you? Yeah. All these buildings, all the buildings around the world these days have things on them to direct lightning away from the building to the ground so that it doesn't go in the building. Yeah, they're called lightning rods. Everyone knows about lightning rods, yeah? Yeah, see, everyone out there knows about lightning rods. Something we learn about eventually. We had one in my parents' house where we had this wire that went from the roof and went down to the ground. So the lightning, if it hit the house, it hit that wire instead and go down the ground and won't come in the house. And if you're in a car, cars are actually designed so that if lightning hits the car, the lightning will go around the car and go down to the ground so it won't hurt anyone inside the car. So, as long as you are inside, whether it's in a car or in a house or a building like this, it's almost impossible for lightning to hurt you. Does that make lightning feel less scary? Do you feel, if I'm telling you you're safe, next time you see lightning, are you going to be scared still? You're still going to be scared? Even though you know you're safe? Like you can watch lightning through your window, and it's almost, you are so safe, you can just watch the storm the whole time. It will never hurt you, but you're still going to be scared? Yeah. You know, today in our story, the disciples were scared. You see, remember on Good Friday and we talked about how Jesus died on the cross? Well, in our story today, it's Easter Day, but the disciples haven't seen Jesus yet, so they don't know that he's alive. And so they just remember all the scary stuff that happened a couple days ago and all that scary stuff, so they are really scared. And so they're up in this room, and the doors are locked, and the windows are closed because they are terrified. But Jesus comes and visits them, and he says to them, "Peace be with you." He says, "Be at peace. It's okay. You don't need to be afraid. I'm here." And then they get really happy, and they give him a hug, and they celebrate, and they're all happy that Jesus is alive. And then before he leaves, he says to them again, "Remember, you don't need to be afraid. Peace be with you." Do you think after that, if Jesus had come to visit you, that after that you wouldn't be afraid anymore? Do you think Jesus would get rid of all your fears?
Probably.
You'd still be afraid, but you wouldn't be afraid anymore? You wouldn't be afraid anymore? Do you think the disciples after that were no longer afraid?
Yes. Probably.
Probably. You know what? A week later, they were still in that locked room. They were still afraid that even a week later, they were still up there in that locked room. And Jesus had to come and visit them again and say to them again, "I told you, you don't need to be afraid. Peace be with you." He had to help them multiple times to let go of their fear. So I understand that just because I told you that you're safe inside here, that lightning can't hurt you from in here, it's still scary, isn't it? It's hard to feel safe around it. But Jesus reminds us that we don't need to be afraid because he's with us. Doesn't mean that we still do things to keep ourselves safe, like we stay inside when it's lightning. But Jesus reminds us that we don't need to be afraid anymore, that we are safe because he is with us. And when I get scared, I say those words that Jesus said to his disciples. You don't need to be afraid. Jesus is with you. Be at peace. Can you say those words with me? I'm going to say it once. You repeat after me. Say, I don't need to be afraid.
I don't need to be afraid.
Jesus is with me.
Jesus was with me.
Be at peace.
Be at peace.
Say it one more time. I don't need to be afraid.
I don't need to be afraid.
Jesus is with me.
Jesus with me.
Be at peace.
Be at peace.
That's what I say when I'm afraid, to remind myself that Jesus is there.
I say it as bad.
Can we say a prayer?
Yes.
Say, God,
God,
when it's lightning outside,
when it's lightning outside,
and even though we're inside
even though we even fly
and totally safe,
and totally safe,
we still get scared.
we still get scared.
Remind us, God,
Remind us, God,
that you are with us
you are with us,
and we don't need to be afraid.
and we don't need to be afraid.
Give us your peace.
Give us your peace.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you guys for coming on up.
Thank you for joining us. Be sure to like if you heard good news and subscribe to stay up to date on the latest message. Peace be with you.